So be ready to get serious. Now what must you do? There is Malcolm Gladwell has written a book called The Outliers, and I strongly recommend that book called The Outliers. He talks about, and he gives data to support that. He talks about what he calls the 10,000 hour rule. He says that to become an expert at anything, you need to spend 10,000 hours doing that thing thoughtfully. Now I took the thoughtfully from another very good book called it's called Talent is Overrated. Talent is overrated. Because a lot of people feel that, I don't have talent for this. This man says the talent is not the issue. The issue is thoughtful practice. He calls it thoughtful practice. Talent is overrated. Now, therefore, 10,000 hour rule is 10,000 hours of thoughtful practice, not just mechanically doing something. He gives an example of golf, and he says just hitting 1,000 balls makes no difference, because you may be hitting wrong, you may be hitting anywhere. He says thoughtfully doing that. Hitting 10 balls is worth more than hitting 1,000 balls without thought. So thoughtful practice of 10,000 hours. So if you want to be among the 2%, get serious with your life, pick what you want to do and then start working on it, keeping the 10,000 hour rule in mind. Roughly speaking, do the sums. 10,000 hours, take an 8-hour working day and do the numbers. 10,000 divided by 10 is 1,000, right? So that's 1,000 days. Say 1,200 days, say 1,500 days. So it's not an enormously long time. Divide by 365, so 1,500, 3 5 is 15, is about 5 years. It's about 5 years or 6 years of thoughtful practice, but 5 or 6 years of thoughtful practice. That is the key thing. So it's not something you shouldn't think that, oh my God, 10,000 years, I'm talking about 25 years. No, it's not 25, 30, it's about 5 or 6 years. But that 5 or 6 years has to be done absolutely with concentration and with dedication. So, what must you do? Be prepared to learn, to improve, to accept critical feedback, very, very, very important, and to change. If somebody gives you practical feedback, going back and doing the same thing one more time makes no sense whatsoever. Right? Many times people come to me, I want to be your student. They come and tell me I want to be a student. So I have a standard for anyone who wants to be my student. And that standard is, you must pray tahajjud without missing it for 1 full year. And I tell them, if you miss one tahajjud, then you have to count from that number again. So if you prayed 364 days, and on the 365th day, if you missed it, then you start counting again from 1. So that's the standard. No missing. You must not miss tahajjud. Pray tahajjud every single day for 365 days, then come to me. So all those who claim to be my students, don't believe them. I have no students. Seriously, I'm not joking. When somebody comes to me with 365 days of tahajjud without a break, then we will talk about being a student. I am serious with my life, and I have absolutely no intention ever to waste my life on you if you are not serious. I am interested in your life, but I am not interested in your life more than you are interested. As simple as that. So therefore, you have to invest in yourself. So, question, are you ready?
Yes.
Inshallah. Very good. And why must you be ready? Because it's your life. Who will benefit? You will benefit. Others may also benefit, obviously, if you are doing something good, other people benefit. But principal beneficiary is yourself. So therefore, to begin again is Mark Twain, very nice quote by him. He said, the 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. And according to me, if you don't reach the second day, then the first day is unimportant. It doesn't matter when you were born if you don't know why you were born. So what to do? Become entrepreneurial. What is that? Entrepreneurship is not about business. It's about the willingness to take responsibility for your own life. So you can be an entrepreneur as a businessman or a businesswoman, or you can be an entrepreneur in any way as long as you are willing to own responsibility for your life. Please understand, I'm saying own responsibility. You are responsible anyway. We're talking about you accepting that ownership. So what must you do? Two critical requirements. One, be unrealistic, and two, be unreasonable. Unrealistic and unreasonable. And I'm going to give you some case studies for that. Because our future is dependent on it. On being unreasonable and being unrealistic. And I'll give you a wonderful case study. You must actually go and see this place. This is in Madurai. It's called the Aravind Eye Hospital. The case study is this, the founder of it, Dr. Govindappa Venkataswamy, born 1918 and died in 2006. Eldest of 5 children. Notice his hands. What do you see about his hands? Completely deformed, right? Because of arthritis. And he was an eye surgeon. With those hands he operated on eyes. He worked in government as a doctor, and with a goal to cure blindness and to see all as one, everyone equal. He retired from government service at the age of 58, and then he started a clinic. He took his 5 brothers and sisters and their spouses, and that's the barakah of arranged marriages. All of them were and are eye doctors. They started an 11-bed eye clinic. They mortgaged their family house, sold the family jewelry, and put life savings on the line. No business plan, no safety net, no experience. And the goal was eliminate needless blindness. And when does he do this? When does he start this? After retirement. After retirement, what do you normally do? Drink coffee and read the Hindu newspaper. Especially if you are Tamilian, but not this man. So we are talking about 1976, right? Do the sums. In 2013, they have 50 facilities, largest eye care provider on the planet, in the whole world. 38 million patients seen in 37 years. Over 1 million a year. 5 million surgeries performed, and the majority for free. Aravind Eye Hospital is a Harvard case study, has been for over 20 years, and it's a mandatory case study for every Harvard MBA student, not only medical schools. Every Harvard medical MBA student, mandatory case study is Aravind Eye Hospital in Madurai. I'm talking about be unreasonable, be unrealistic. How realistic is it to have that goal after post-retirement? Talking about eye surgery when you have hands which are distorted with arthritis. Now, what is there? It's not just a matter of numbers. Surgeon productivity. Countries, I'm comparing countries to an individual private enterprise. That is the number for productivity surgeries per year. Indonesia, Thailand, Bangladesh, Aravind Eye Hospital, and India as a country. Surgeries per year. Fastest time for cataract surgery, 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes, cataract surgery. What about volume and cost? Here we are comparing it with the National Health Service of Britain, of England versus Aravind Eye Hospitals. So we are comparing the government state medical plan with Aravind Eye Hospital's number of eye surgeries is 60% of the eye surgeries done in the whole of the UK. 60% of that is done in Aravind Eye Hospital. And cost of delivery is less than 1%. 60% of operations at less than 1% of the cost. Therefore, what about quality? Arvind's quality is equal to or exceeds the quality outcomes of National Health Service of UK over 20 different complication types. What about the financial sustainability? You might say, well, all of this is fine, but you are doing all of this for free, so where does all this come from, and how is it financially sustainable. They have an operating surplus of 13 million on a revenue of 27 million. That's a hugely profitable organization. All services, all growth is covered by patient revenue, meaning fees. Sufficiency model, abundance mindset. They take anyone. Dr. V, as he is called, Venkatasamy, his motto, do the work, money will follow. Forbes magazine, which is the billionaires magazine, makes a statement and says, spectacularly profitable, worthy of any for-profit organization. And Aravind is a not-for-profit organization. So what are their business principles? Number one, we cannot turn anyone away. Anybody can walk into Aravind Eye Hospital with an eye issue and they will treat you no matter who you are, no matter what kind of person you are, no matter what your religion is, no matter what your race or color or nationality, no matter even if you are a beggar on a street, and I'll give you an example of that also. Whoever, man, woman, anyone. We don't turn anyone away, number one. Number two, we cannot compromise on quality. Everyone will get the same high quality treatment for the same cost. Anyone, a billionaire can walk in there, he will get exactly the same treatment as a beggar. The only exception is if you want anything special, meaning if you say I want a private air-conditioned room, then they will give you a private air-conditioned room. They will charge you for the room rent, and they will, but the hospital charge, the operating, everything is the same. Only the extras you pay for, which is voluntary. If you want it, you pay for it. Otherwise, you are in a normal ward and you get exactly the same care. We cannot compromise quality. Number two. Number three, we must be self-reliant. Very interesting. Aravind does not take donations from anybody. Now, we are a chanda-based ummah. Aravind Eye Hospital, as a policy, does not take a donation from anyone. And the fourth one is, we let the patient decide. Decide what? Decide how much he wants to pay. Not how much he can pay. Please understand this. There's a difference. How much he wants to pay. So high quality, high volume, low cost. We call this in business management, we call it the sweet spot. If you have a business which is high quality, high volume and low cost, you are in the sweet spot. Maximum profitability. Now they have what I call an absolutely upside down business model. Right, this business model, like the bumblebee, is not supposed to fly. We say the bumblebee, according to the laws of aerodynamics, the bumblebee cannot fly. Because it's fat and round, it's got little wings. So according to the laws of aerodynamics, the bumblebee cannot fly. But bumblebees do not know aerodynamics, so they fly. And that's what. According to the laws of business, Aravind Eye Hospital should not function. But Aravind does not know business. So they are the most highly profitable and highly professional, high quality organization literally in the world. So upside down model, which is no growth numbers, no financial targets. Hold your breath. No financial targets. No organizational career paths. Doctors are not going from this one to that one to that one. They are not going from becoming consultant surgeon and this one, therefore you get nothing. And no business strategy. So, as I was saying, an upside down business model, no growth numbers, no financial targets. Now financial targets has become a completely shameful reality of almost every private hospital in the country. Doctors are given financial targets and doctors are not ashamed of the fact that they are given financial targets. Patients are treated as walking, talking ATM machines, and that's what medical care has come to in this country, which is an absolute shame, but not in Aravind. Similarly, no organizational career paths. Doctors are not chasing some fancy career titles and so on. Despite this, they still produce the largest, most productive, high quality eye care in the world. Not just in this country. So, Key thing, Pavi Mehta is a niece of Dr. V, and you should see her presentation on YouTube on this eye hospital. It's called The Compassionate Company. It's an absolutely fantastic presentation. And she uses this very nice quote. She says, self-impose creative constraints on yourself. And this is, I think, a good aim for, if you want to be a leader, self-impose creative constraints on yourself.